So Jeff, last season you ran 3 races, finishing on the podium both times at CTMP. How difficult of a decision was it for you to retire while still running competitively?
You know, it really wasn't that hard. I get a lot of satisfaction out of racing, out of watching the boys race. So watching them do what they do, and they do such a good job at it, and they're so passionate about it, it makes getting out of the seat myself really simple. You know, I'd prefer to watch them race anyways. That's more fun for me.
What went into that decision to retire?
Well, it was just, you know, we've been doing it a long time, and we've always done it as a family. And you know, the boys came and always supported me, and it was time for me to sit back and give them more support for a while, and you know, forever on, I guess. So it really wasn't much of a decision for us. It's sort of you know, it was always going to happen. It was just a matter of when, and it was time.
Next to Cayden, you made your series debut last season, running 6 races and finishing 3rd at Sunset Speedway. What was it like running in the Pinty series for the first time?
It was a really big learning experience, I would say. The car was completely different from anything I've really driven. It had a lot of motor. You know, it sort of lacks in the area of tires and braking and all that. So it was definitely trying to adjust to the car and pick it up as well as I can. But you know, I think I picked up the ovals pretty quick. I'm still learning the road courses, so I can give that a little bit of time, and then, you know, hopefully to be competitive on ovals and road courses is the ultimate goal, really.
At the same time, you ran local events at Sunset, where you won the Superstock Championship and took home a victory in the prestigious Autumn Colors Classic. How difficult was it to compete in so many events?
It was definitely really stressful. You know, some weekends we were trying to prepare 3 cars, Treyten's mini stock, my super stock, and Cat's car, and when Dad raced his Pinty's car. So it was really stressful at the time, but at the end of the season it was very rewarding, being able to walk out with a couple really big wins in the super stock, running really well in the Pinty series. You know, Treyten winning championships, I won a championship, and that was always competitive. So at the end of the season, it was really rewarding, and it felt like a great accomplishment.
And how did it feel to win the title and Autumn Colors?
It felt awesome, really. The couple years that I started racing Superstock, we went to Autumn Colors, and I didn't really have the best of luck. So to go in there and win it against the best Superstock drivers in Ontario, in Canada, really, I should say, was a huge accomplishment, and winning the Superstock Championship at Sunset was another huge accomplishment, because weekly there they draw the best Superstock drivers from around Southern Ontario, I would say. So, you know, to be able to come out with both of them was a huge accomplishment and awesome.
Running locally at Sunset last year and winning the mighty Mini Stock Championship, how difficult was it to be competitive in your first season?
You know, it was quite a challenge, but I tried to adjust as quickly as I can. But it was just all a learning curve, and I was trying to get used to it. And week by week, I started getting better and better, and then to the point where I am now. And there was a lot of great competition too, so it made it even better.
And how did it feel to win the title?
It was awesome, because it was my first year, and it just made it awesome knowing that I had all my family around me, and we were all celebrating. It was pretty cool.
This question's for both Caden and Treyten. What are your plans for this season?
My plan is to move up into Caden Superstock, and we'll see how that goes. It's just going to get used to it and probably run that for a few years. Yep.
Well, my plans are still up in the air. We recently just purchased a limited late model to go run at Sunset weekly, but I don't think we're going to run it full time. So I'm just going to run the odd show. But you know, I'm really still pushing to run the full NASCAR Pinty series. So, you know, that's my main goal for this season, is to run the whole season and try to pick out the big sponsor. But right now, everything's still up in the air, to be honest.
Over to Jeff. After losing Tim Horton's sponsorship, how difficult has it been to find funding?
It's been very challenging. We've, myself and I have two friends working pretty diligently at it. We've sent literally nearly 300 proposals out, and it's just, we were sort of late getting the news from Tim Hortons, so a lot of budgets have been done. We've got some promising things lined up for 2017, but for 16, it's really tough. Like we're still looking for some partners to market with us, and I think we could do a good job to keep their name out in the front. So we're still hopeful, but at the same time, we're gonna push ahead and do a couple races on our own, and maybe we can draw something from that.
This question's for Caden and Treyten. How does having a family history in racing help with your learning curve?
It's actually really helpful because we can go to the track and we have a lot of background knowledge to go off of. Like my dad he really excelled on the road courses, so he gave me a lot of pointers there, and he was fairly good on the ovals too. So he's really he's really helped me out along the way. My uncle shows up at the track every once in a while, and he was a really good racer, I would say. And he gives me a lot of pointers. Before my grandpa passed away, he was always at the track, lending a hand. So I've had a lot of people to fall back on and give me support and help me through the way, and it's made this all just a little bit easier.
I'd say having a background racing in my family's really helped me because it's awesome getting pointers from them. It helps me a lot. Like in the mini stock, they gave me tons of pointers because it was my first year in the big car on the big track, and they gave me a lot of tips, and I went off of that, and it's awesome to have all the support.
This as well, both for Caden and Treyten. How much of an influence has your dad been in getting you to where you are today?
Dad's a huge help. We couldn't do it without him, really. He's pretty much he gets us to the track, he helps us on the track, he gets us home, he does everything pretty much. And my whole family, really, they're all awesome.
Yeah, sort of what Treyten said. Dad's always been there for us. He started us in racing at the age of 4, running quarter midgets down in the States, and it sort of just carried over ever since. And I'm grateful to have the support from him and the rest of my family like I do. And they're always at the track for us, cheering us on, helping us out at the shop with the race cars, preparing them to get to the track, and at the track as well. They're always helping us in between sessions to get back on the track and be quicker next time out. So we couldn't do it without them, and it's just a blessing to have such a great family backing me.
Switching over to Jeff. When did Caden and Treyten develop an interest in racing?
Right from the start, I think. Their first words were some kind of a mimic of a race car, but they've always been, very much in the racing. Right from when they were coming to the track. They were both at the track. Treyten, I think, was about 4 weeks old, and Caden was just a couple months old. But so they've both been there since they were newborns basically, and they were always into the cars and that. So there was never any doubt that they had an interest in it.
What was it like teaching them the ins and outs?
That's a never-ending thing. It's still going, and it's challenging sometimes because we butt heads like any parent and children do. But at the same time, when something clicks, it's very rewarding. So it can be frustrating, but it's great at the same time. But we love doing it. We spend a lot of time together doing it. And I always know where my kids are because they're always at the racetrack with me. So my wife Sherry and I are, we're going to keep going as long as we can to let these kids keep racing, because it's just for some families, ours, one of them, obviously, it's a way of life, and that's what our family does. We race.
This question's for all three of you. Has racing created a bond between the three of you?
I think so. just take today for instance. We're out here banging doors at a go-kart track. I don't know how many families get to do that all the time. So we don't get to do it all the time, but we spend every weekend together. And yeah, we travel together. We're always together. So I think it's made our family stronger. And you know, what more would a parent want? You know.
I guess.
I'd say it's created a huge bond because, like, most of the time we spend together, it's usually at the race shop or the racetrack, and it's all pretty awesome, and we learn a lot from him, so it definitely creates a huge bond.
I think it's really brought our family together in a way that, you know, some families can't say they could. I really couldn't picture us if we weren't racing, like doing something else, like, you know, if we were playing rep basketball or hockey or something. It wouldn't seem right. So to be able to spend every weekend with my family and at the racetrack, race shop, or if we're skiing or snowboarding or something, it's an awesome feeling to know that, you know, they're always going to be there for me, and we're always going to be together, and we're going to have one another. So, you know, I would definitely say racing has really drawn us together, and you know, I hope it stays like that.
This question's for Jeff and Cayden. We saw you two race against each other twice at CTMP. Could we see that again in another Pinty Series race in the future?
Dad's shaking his head no, so I'm going to say no on that one. But, you know, Dad's ran a couple of the Daytona 24 hours and stuff, and I think he's always expressed an interest in running that together with, you know, not just me, but Treyten and maybe our other brother Ryden as well. But you know, I only got to racing against him a couple times, and really I wasn't racing against him because I was still trying to pick up the road course atmosphere. But you know, I think to actually get out on the real racetrack and bang doors with him, and you know, it'd be awesome, and it'd really be a dream come true.
I don't see that happening anytime soon. I've had my fun, and you know, unless someone dumped a whole great big pile of money on us, I'm going to stick to the boys racing. So, and I'm fine with that.
And lastly, for Caden and Treyten, what are your future goals in racing?
I'm sure many racers dream to go up and race in NASCAR's top 3 series, and that's pretty much where I'd like to see myself in coming years, obviously money permitting, but yeah, that's pretty much my goal, to race in one of NASCAR's top 3 series, see where it goes.
I'm going to say the same thing Treyten basically said. He hit it right on the head. Every racer's dream is, you know, to run the Sprint Cup Series with guys like Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Harvick, and all of them, and you know, it's certainly one of my dreams too, to, you know, to be able to make it there and to say I've made it, and, you know, to race at Daytona and all the big tracks. But you know, as long as I'm into racing, no matter what kind of racing it is, I'll be happy. So, but the ultimate goal really is to race in one of NASCAR's top 3 sanctionings.
All right, Caden, Treyten, and Jeff Lapcevich, thank you for speaking with me.
Thank you very much for having us.
It was awesome.